Hello, everyone. My name is Marian with DTM Real Talk Channel. It's the channel that you can tune into, have the ability to listen to the thoughts of others about topics all over the world that touch every one of our lives. Everybody goes through basically the same thing. There is nothing new under the sun. So if you're going through, someone else has already been there. Maybe you can find hope. Maybe it's a pathway that can set you on the right road just by tuning in. So DTM Real Talk, just keeping it real. And if you like it, like us at the bottom, subscribe, and let us know just how we helped you. Just keeping it real. Nothing but love. Good evening. This is DTM Real Talk, and we are just keeping it real. Cousin, say hi to the good folks out there.
Hello. Good evening. How's everybody today?
Awesome. We are back, y'all. And if I'm lying to you, I am flying. What's up, cousin?
Nothing much. What's going on, cuz?
Oh my goodness. We're back. We got a couple of emails in. One was about how to deal with what was it? It was stress and
stress, right?
Stress and depression. But I wanted to share with you guys that unforgiveness plays a big part of that too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
So how was your day today?
How was my day today? Girl, look, this week has been crazy, but crazy good. We had an event, you already know that. So we're just kind of wrapping up everything.
Right.
We had an event, and we had a 2-day event, really.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably had over 100 people out there at our church. And 2 people actually trusted the Lord Jesus Christ. So that was an incredible day. Y'all know, it's sorry about this, but I ain't sorry about it. But our favorite book says that the angels are rejoicing in heaven when
that's right.
a person comes to know Jesus Christ. So yeah, we were so excited. It was set it off. It was like set it off. And one of the pastor friends came in from Tennessee with his whole crew of people. We probably had 100 people out there. It was good.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. Good.
Can I ask, did you wear your Pippi Longstocking hairdo?
Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. I did wear my Pippi Longstocking. Y'all see it. It look cute, huh? That's because my hair is growing. And cousin, you don't do a sister like that. I think I look cute.
Look, don't feel bad. It's hot outside. I got my ancient mama thing going on, boo. But I got my pearl. I got my pearl.
I see you. Yeah, I was trying to get it off my neck. So that, yeah, okay. I did. But it's been good. Made some new contacts, but I'm all about contacts, But anyway,
you got that.
Anyway, let's get down to the real deal.
Yeah.
We the email that I got had to do with depression and stress, but a lot of that comes from unforgiveness as well. And I think one lady asked, what are some signs of unforgiveness or something like that? And I did talk about that before, but I'll go over a few of them if you want me to.
Okay, great. One of the things that, you touched on and you really dealt with releasing the offender. Releasing the offender. And that one, I think, is so intricate. You did say that was hard.
Yeah, it is very difficult.
But I'm gonna tell you why I asked that, because the question was, or a situation was posed to me, that if I was offended against it, if he offended me, that he would expect me to forgive him. And if I forgave him, I would not bring the issue up at all. And I would forget it as if it never happened. Now, I know that is the essence of what forgiveness is. But I felt it was unfair because he didn't give me chance, one, to process. It was I was supposed to just automatically act like it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Yeah. So I mean, how does that work? I mean, I really thought he was being unfair in that he could offend me in any way, but I didn't have the opportunity to hurt. be angry, and so on and so forth.
Okay. I just read a post, and I'm going to answer that with this post I just read on Facebook.
Okay.
I thought it was, I hope I can find it. Just because I want to find it, I can't find it. But give me a second here. Forgiveness doesn't mean that I forgot about it totally. I don't remember it. That's insanity. Okay.
Right.
It doesn't mean that I don't acknowledge that it happened. And I'm gonna find this post right quick. I want to. Where is it? Where is this post right quick? Lord, let's see.
Yes, you got to find that post, because I mean,
have to.
I thought he had some nerve, some audacity to say, well, if he offended me and I was to forgive him, I was supposed to forget it. And he never wanted to hear it again. But I think he wanted to see. He said that because he did not want to feel the effects of what he had done.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And what I do understand is that forgiveness is not for the individual.
Right. Okay.
Forgiveness is for you.
Yes.
Okay. So, like I said before, it's an intentional decision to let go of the anger and resentment toward whoever it is that you're dealing with. Right.
Right. Okay.
So now that person, obviously they need to feel some kind of remorse or some kind of remorse for their actions or for what they did or said or whatever the case is. Now, if they don't, that's merely on them.
Okay.
Forgiveness is for you.
Gotcha.
So you do what you need to do by releasing that individual. And if you have to say it again to remind yourself of it, not throwing it at him though, but you acknowledge it. A lot of times I use examples, past examples, which I have even on this show, to share with individuals the process of my forgiveness journey. So it doesn't say that you forget it. I'm not going to forget what you did, but I'm not going to harp on it either. I'm not going to harp on it either, because I'm trying to find this post. Where is it?
Because shouldn't I, and maybe this is harping on it, but shouldn't I have time, at least a little time to be angry?
Well, it's a process, remember?
Yeah.
It's a process. You can't pretend that everything is all right.
Right.
Okay. That it didn't happen, but you are to release them of that charge. Okay. And it's normal for you and I as individuals, as people, as human beings. We feel anger. It's a God-given emotion, but you're not supposed to allow it to overtake you. That's where the problem comes.
I got it. Okay. I got it.
That's where the problem
comes. Right. Because it will overtake you.
It can.
It will.
It can. Now, there are a few signs of unforgiveness that you haven't done it. Pretending that everything is all right. You're all over it. You hear some people say, well, as a matter of fact, this week, I like to make it personal because I deal with this every day. This week, I had an individual that really was offended by me, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason I know it is because they didn't tell me. Their attitude showed me that they were offended by me. Now, did I do anything wrong? No, I didn't. But to them, they took my behavior as took my behavior, a right behavior that I portrayed, offensive. Okay. So because I saw that, me, cousin, I'm that individual. Yeah. You can't even, you can't deal with unforgiveness without communication. Right. And because I'm authentic and I'm real, what you see is what you get, guys. You know that. Right. I can't, if I know that you're offended with me, or I sense that you're offended by something that I did or said, I can't just act like it's all right. I got you. I'm probably going to come to you. And I'm going to say,
did I do something wrong? Or
Yes.
if I sense I know what it is you're offended by,
Uh-huh.
I may state, oh, you're offended at me because I did this or I said this. Well, what I did was I actually told the individual, because of their attitude, that
Uh-huh.
I'm not your enemy.
Yeah.
I'm really not your enemy. And guys, I know some of you may identify with this and some of you may not. Because I am a Christian, I'm not your enemy. It's the enemy. It's the
Right.
devil working through what it is you've taken as an offense that I've done.
Right.
And then I express it. Now watch what I'm doing here. I said that to the individual. They didn't readily receive me at all. Now,
Okay.
the reason I know they didn't is because their attitude spoke that they didn't. Their
Yeah.
response said that they didn't. But why did I do that? It wasn't for them.
Right. Right.
It was for me,
Yes.
so that I can remain humble before God,
Mm.
even as they were prideful,
Okay.
even as they still had an attitude, even as, you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. You know,
So,
go ahead, finish.
no. So what I'm saying is that when you're dealing with unforgiveness, it's not for the other individual, it's for you.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is for you.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
the other individual want to remain in an unforgiving state, that's on them.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. Right.
you have released the offender, but your feelings, again, I say this over and over again, you release that offender, release them of their charge. I don't blame you anymore, but I still feel some kind of way. So your feelings have to catch up with the decision you just made.
Right. And you know what? What really, really hastened me, even in this brother making this statement to me, because he really had me hot. But what really put me speedily on my journey of correcting my thinking was a passage in the Bible that we quote when we quote the model prayer, which says, "Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors."
Right.
So in essence, I had to think about it. If I want the Lord to forgive me, then I have to learn to forgive others. And like you
Right.
said, let my feelings catch up.
Right. You got to make the decision to do right
Yeah.
because you can,
Yes.
and not respond to what you feel. Oh, Lord,
Right.
I
Right.
felt bad. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and a couple of other signs, and like I was saying, I wanted to hit some of these signs of unforgiveness. Bursting out in anger. I said that before. So if a person is struggling with unforgiveness, that's bottling up a lot of anger, right?
Okay.
Okay, so when that anger comes out, it spews out, right? It spews out on the person that's not even guilty of causing the stress or pain. Most
Yeah.
times it's coming out on that individual. It's not even coming out on the individual that hurt me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Those are called triggers.
Triggers, you got it.
Triggers. If he, like, for instance, I'll use my good brother. When I say that, not my biological brother, y'all. He's just a
Right.
brother. But if this brother hurt me on something, you and I communicating, and you hit a trigger, then I explode. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's because you haven't dealt with unforgiveness. So now you don't
Okay.
explode it.
Gotcha.
You haven't communicated. When you feel, and I tell people all the time, when you feel that anger start to build up like that, you have to be aware of the source. Remember the first step in dealing with unforgiveness: discover.
Yes.
You have to be aware of the source. If you catch yourself in the middle of an outburst, it's not ever too late to back out and to face it.
Okay, but tell me, I'm a practical kind of girl. So
Okay.
you gotta give me legs, and what does that look like? Okay, so I've had this outburst, and what is the process practically?
I'm gonna
What
give you
does that
some
look like
legs.
when to discover? Do I stop and start thinking? Tell me, how does that look like? What does that look like?
You can back out from the offense, from letting the anger spew out like you can back out
Okay.
right then. You can say, you know
Right.
what? because you're feeling it before it comes as a thought and a feeling, right? Because you're
Right.
about to lash out on this person and you can feel that. Now, what I do, if it comes out, right?
Okay.
I'm quick to say, forgive me. Oh my God, that did not come out right. I am so sorry. Would you forgive me? I do that in a quick second.
Right, right.
So now I've backed out of it. Yes, I've hurt the person probably, but I recognize what was inside of me at that point.
Okay.
Now, you're saying give it legs. Do I stop and think about where it comes from right now? No, you just need to fix it.
Okay.
You need to fix it right then.
Yeah.
You need to fix it. Sometimes you hear people say, oh, that's not what I meant. And then the other person, well, that's what you said.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what I do is I correct it, I fix it. Now, whether they receive it or not,
all right,
it's on them.
Gotcha.
That's on them, whether they receive it or not.
Right.
Now I go into my secret place.
There you go.
Where did that come from?
Where did that come from? Gotcha.
Then I can think about it, pray about it. Like, oh my God. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So that's how you discover.
It's never too late. And in my program, every individual is different and everybody has a different situation.
Right.
So yours may be from your childhood. Mine may be from a young adulthood. Somebody else's may be from some trauma that happened to them. Everybody's different. And that's why when I do coach my clients, I actually get into that. Get in your head. I want to get in your mind. You here for me to help you. So you got to let me in. I can't help you if you don't let me in.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So everybody's going to be different, but it's never too late to back out.
Yeah.
Back out of an outburst of anger. And then one of the other signs is being impulsive. If a person has wronged me,
okay,
and I've really forgiven them, I'm not going to make snide remarks. You know what I'm saying? I see that a lot.
Look, we call it today throwing shade. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Throwing shade, yeah.
Yes. Give the good folks an example since you named it.
Yeah. For example, if we'll use the example of this good brother. So I'm in a conversation or whatever, and you and I are talking, and if something hurts me, whatever, and I make a snide remark, yeah, right. That's what they all say.
Something to that effect.
You're no different. Why should you be any different?
Those are like mudslides. Yes, exactly.
I've given you a charge unjustly.
Yeah. So in actuality, you haven't forgiven that person. You're still yet powerless because you haven't.
Yes. Okay.
Because you haven't. You
right.
Power making sludge remarks because you haven't forgiven them. You haven't communicated. You haven't looked at why you feel the way you feel.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I tell people, like, what do you do instead? You just, it's you pause before you engage with that person. Sometimes all you need is a moment to let your conscience in before you open your mouth.
Well, let me tell you, look, I'm gonna give you a good example. The other Sunday, I was out at a restaurant and I was with some people, and I'm expecting this thing, I'm just gonna be transparent. I was with my husband, and normally after church, he and I, we talk before we drive off the church lot. He's asking me, okay, well, what are we gonna do for dinner? Where we going? Okay, yada yada yada. Well, this day, he was with one of his church preaching colleagues, and he left, and he did not ask me, what the particulars were. He just drove off. I'm like, well, what's going on? He get with his friends, and he want to do yada yada yada. Well, when I got to the restaurant, they were sitting down with I was all over the place. Was I all over the place? One self wanted to walk past the table, go wash my hands, sit down and eat, and go somewhere else. But I said to myself, I said, how quickly these emotions and these triggers can take place. I said to myself, Lord, I need you right now. I need you right now so I can do the right thing. I can say the right thing. I can act the right way, you know? So I went to the bathroom, washed my hand. I went over there and sat next to my husband, and we ate, and all was well with the world. So it happens so fast.
Yeah.
It can happen so fast. So that's why we need the Holy Spirit all times, if possible, to guide us. Because he didn't do anything wrong, you know.
He didn't do anything wrong, and you build a case on him in your head, based on what you felt that he should have done.
That he should have done, you know. And my point is, like you said, sometimes these things happen, and we're quick. And sometimes, if you're not careful, you don't have time to think. And if you don't have time, if you don't take time to think, you either said something, done something unbecoming.
Right. Absolutely. And what would have been the key thing? Communication.
Communication.
That's all. That's all. That's all. So yeah, so we have you know, some of these keys. Your burst out of anger, bursting out in anger, experiencing outbursts in anger. Can signify
right,
that you're still dealing with unforgiveness. What else did I say? Impulsive, snide remarks.
Right.
That can signify that you're dealing with unforgiveness. And also, what I come to realize too, from dealing with some of my clients, is that you're desperate to make that person that offended you understand how you feel. Now, should they understand? Yes. But a lot of times we'll do it this way. If they only knew what they did to me, if they need to say I'm sorry, you know, that kind of conversation, you know? And what should be done is the person may never ever apologize.
Right.
They never even recognize what they've done at all. It's a time, let me see how to put this, a time-tested way to prove this is to write, I think you're going to remember this, to write them a letter, that you do not intend to send them. What does that make you remember?
Wow.
What does that make you remember? Back 30 years ago when we used to have these retreats and we'd write down who hurt us and what they did.
That's right.
Remember that?
Yeah, and if we were at the campfire, we would burn it.
We would burn it. Yeah, that's a true tested way, time-tested way to deal with unforgiveness. Yeah. You don't have intentions of telling that person this, but you have to write it down because it's a way of releasing it. It's a way of releasing the content. So I found it very helpful myself. And and another way that you can know that you are still residing in unforgiveness is compulsiveness.
Explain that compulsiveness. Now tell me, what's that all about?
Okay. First of all, you can't control the hurtful person. You can't.
Okay.
The person that hurt you can't control them, right?
Right.
But you can control your environment. Okay.
Okay.
You can control your environment.
Okay.
So being compulsive could quickly become like a negative spiral of activity. This is what you might be doing. You might start checking social media 2, 3 times, 4 times a day. Watch this. Making unnecessary purchases, just buying stuff. Comfort eating is one too. Comfort eating. Keeping your space spotless. Not saying that that's wrong, but I'm talking about excessiveness.
Okay.
Yes. These behaviors, check this out. These type of behaviors give you the impression of being in control.
Okay.
You got it? It gives you the impression of being in control. Okay. And they distract you from dealing with the heart of the problem, which is you hurt me. So I'm going to deal with that. So I'm going to exhibit these compulsive behaviors.
Right.
Comfort eating. I'm gonna, you know, just something that I can have control of.
Yeah.
That's a person that's really, really, really dealing with unforgiveness. They never dealt with it.
Wow.
And they may not even know it. I'm just giving y'all
Right.
some of these. Yeah, I'm just giving you some of the symptoms. Okay. Just some of the symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's now I didn't say every person that purchases
Right.
stuff.
Right.
I'm not didn't say every person. Oh, that's our time running out. So
Oh, wow.
let's hit one more. What else? What other behavior that you can exhibit and know that that's possibly unforgiveness? What did I say? Compulsiveness.
Yes.
When you're able to let me see. Not taking responsibility for your own feelings.
Okay.
You ever heard somebody always blaming somebody else?
Right.
That's the person that's not taking responsibility for their own feelings. You find yourself blaming people, blaming a person you can't forgive for your feelings. Your feelings are your feelings, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe you're blaming the weather. I don't know. People do that all the time.
Yeah.
Understand that when you choose to withhold forgiveness, you actually saying to the offender, I hold you responsible, not for just what you did, but I hold you responsible for how I acted.
Okay, I got you.
Because I'm not taking responsibility for my own feelings. How can I say you the reason that I acted the way I act? You hear people, he made me do that.
Yeah. Let me see. They say, well, if you wouldn't have done that, then I wouldn't have done this.
There you go. If you wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have did this.
Yeah.
You're the reason I did it. No, I'm not the reason you did it.
You're right.
Because you need to take responsibility that you made the choice. I didn't have nothing to do with your choice.
Gotcha.
You know, I will hold you responsible, not for what you did to me, but how I reacted and responded to what you did.
Is that? Go ahead.
Wait, in other words, I hold you responsible for my unhappiness.
Yeah. So that wouldn't be what you call that, emotional intelligence? Is that what that is, or no?
I don't know, cuz it might be. I don't know. I never heard
that. Because I think emotional intelligence is when you know you. You have to know you. Be responsible for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we're gonna sign off. But what you need to do instead of holding that person responsible for your actions.
Okay.
Right? By giving that responsibility away to the offender, you're allowing them to have power over you that's not theirs.
Wow.
Get this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get this. When you say, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have did this. Or if it wasn't for so-and-so, I wouldn't have said it. No, you're allowing them to have power over you that's really not theirs.
Okay.
I did it because I wanted to do
it.
I did it because I choose to do it.
Right.
Not you made me do it.
Yeah.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are signing off. Cuz what you want to say to the good folks before we get off of here? This has been good.
Hey, look, all I say is I hope y'all tune into the next one. This has been really, really good and enlightening. Yeah. So y'all come on back. Yeah.
Come on back. We're going to cover some more signs of unforgiveness and we'll unpack a little bit more. This is DTM Real Talk and we're just doing what?
Keeping it real.
We'll see y'all next week.
Thanks for watching DTM Real Talk. Be sure to join us for more conversation. And oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe while you're there.